This guy I have known for more years than not that I care to admit, it would just show my age, I suppose, but really, this goes back to when I first came to Indianapolis a little over 10 years ago, or just about 10 years ago, is the first time Renan Meyer and I chatted. He is still a member of Time for Three. They were the artists in residence at the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra for a very long time, still performing, even though they have moved on to not greener pastures, just other pastures, touring the country. But Renan still has a lot going on here in Indiana, and he has for a very long time with an arts academy over in Wabash. And that's the reason Renan is joining us to talk about that today. Renan, it's good to see you, my friend.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. And I am not surprised that I'm still very involved in the great Hoosier State because, the moment that I set my feet into the wonderful land, and I felt the love from all of these remarkable people that seemed to have a community sense that was like nothing I ever had experienced anywhere else. I knew that there was something in the water here that I had to be a part of. So it's my thrill to always spend time with you and to do anything with this incredible community of Indiana.
Renan plays double bass in the trio Time for Three. Double bass, if you do not know, that's the big upright bass. There, you can see it in the background there of the Zoom. That is Renan's love. That is his instrument. And that is what started what is now known as the Honeywell Arts Academy. It's something that you have been doing in Wabash for 15 years now. That is now a component of the Honeywell Arts Academy. Tell me how that began for you. This, if my math is correct, 2008, I guess, is about when this began
Yeah.
with the Wabash Institute, the Wabash Institute in Wabash, to essentially reach the next generation of bass players.
Yeah, before my band Time for Three and I had the pleasure of being the artist in residence for a decade with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. My band Time for Three was engaged by this wonderful gentleman by the name of Richard Ford, who had a home in Wabash and a home in Culver, Indiana, to come and play a private party for some of his wonderful, esteemed colleagues and friends, family members. And I told my band members, Nick and Zach at the time, in Time for Three, of a dream that my other comrades from the double bass world and I had, Hal Robinson and Eric Larson, to have a double bass program that was really about uplifting one another and really this philosophy called sharing of knowledge, which meant that we would all get together in a retreat-like capacity for a short amount of time and empower one another to become the best that we could be. And that was, in short, what our goal was. How we did it, we'd figure that out. But we knew that that's what the goal was. And we had played in Culver and had to drive to Wabash the next day, down to Wabash. And Zach and Richard Ford were having a meeting, and Zach was telling Richard all about this vision that his bass players, his low end friends, had. And Richard was very intrigued. And upon my arrival, he asked if we would consider doing the program in Wabash, Indiana. And that's how Wabash Institute was formed.
And ever since then, you have now expanded, or it was just Wabash for a very long time. But then I guess a couple of years ago, the program expanded. It's now called Honeywell Arts Academy because you have two other components encompassing other musicians, other performers.
Yeah, the pandemic had its effects, I think, in all sorts of different ways for people and arts institutions, arts organizations. For us, we were able to take that time to take a step back and look at the greater vision of something that we had talked about doing for years, but really didn't have the time to implement. And we knew that upon the opening from the pandemic or the ending of the pandemic, we would have an opportunity to harvest this idea. What we did was we expanded it from a double bass program to adding a program for pianists called Soundboard. and a program for the multifaceted misfits of music that want to pioneer their own careers, kind of like the Time for Threes of the world, called Resonance. And those three programs go week after week after week over a 3 week structure. We start with Resonance, we go into Soundboard, and then we finish with Wabash Institute. I think one of the things that's really special about it is it's not a dictatorship. It's a democracy, and even with what we call faculty mentors, who are the teachers, so to speak. I guess if you would think about a teacher student, and the fellowship scholars, who are the students. The reason we've changed those semantics is we're trying to bridge the gap between what is actually a teacher and student, excuse me, and consider all of ourselves, the teachers and the students, curating the week together, all together. And what that does is it makes it so that we hit the ground running with giving each other the empowerment to all feel like we have ownership over ourselves, while also being humble enough to learn from one another. And that's pretty much what we do at the program. We expanded it from a double bass program to adding a program for pianists called Soundboard, and a program for the multifaceted misfits of music that want to pioneer their own careers called Resonance.
Time for Three might bring you Beethoven, they might bring you Mumford and Sons. You just never know what you're going to get. And as you said, there are a lot of artists now out there who are making their own way, making their own path, and not being pigeonholed by any particular genre. And I take it that's, you're trying to help cultivate that with the program that you call Resonance.
Yeah, I think with Resonance specifically, what I noticed, and I think one of the things we're really big on, like, our semantics and our choices of words when it comes to our programs. And for this type of program where it's full scholarship, and the faculty really attracts attention, and we have all the resources to do something that's really beautiful for anybody and everyone who attend. It's about identifying who are the right people to apply for the program more than anything, because it's so high level and virtuosic. These people that apply and even get in, that it could be overwhelming. I think, in a beautiful way. And so what I was realizing as we were identifying these people to apply for Resonance is that there are more of these people that like to venture outside of their comfort zone in the music world, as you're saying, than I even realized there were. And they're coming out of the woodwork. And, it's just beautiful for people to find what it is they want to do, period. There's some people that they want to play one style of music. They love it. They know what they want to do then. They want to do that for the next 6 decades of their life. And I think that's amazing. But with these people for Resonance, that's not what they want to do. They are just exploring all these different genres. They're looking at music as a language, as something that's universal. It's very mad scientist meets artistic. It's this marriage of their artistic trajectory with the theory that goes behind it, and the enthusiasm to just kind of enrich their lives with, like, all these different dialects that make music, so compelling. And they're really just questing for the emotional content more than anything. The character, the story, the emotion, and using that as their guide. And regardless of if they play one genre or a whole bunch of different genres, it really comes down to that as a fundamental. How can I connect with my music making at a level that is greater than before, and I'll have these tools and foundation that I can build on through the days that are in front of me.
Renan Meyer is our guest here on WRTV. We're talking about his Honeywell Arts Academy. This is where all of these talented musicians get to show off what they, not just what they've learned that week, certainly I'm sure they've learned a lot, but who they are and what they are to the public. And the public can come and enjoy these great shows at the end of each of those weeks.
Yeah, I really invite everyone that's watching this to come up to Wabash and take a part of it. The audience is a huge factor that really celebrates the music, and I know from the greater Indianapolis area how extraordinary all of the people are that listen to music. It's a special place, and it's a wonderful way of listening to music. It's a way that is felt deeply, and those are the people that we want in the audience. We want you in the audience.
Renan Meyer is our guest here on WRTV. We're talking about his Honeywell Arts Academy in Wabash, Indiana. There are 3 different components now. Resonance, which is for the innovative musicians. That is June the 13th through the 17th. Soundboard for pianists is the 20th through the 24th. And then the Wabash Wabash Academy still happens. That's June 27th through July 1st.
Okay, so our venue is a restored historic movie theater in Wabash, Indiana, right in downtown. And it's called the Eagles Theater. And it's this playground for artists. We have all sorts of wonderful recording and practice facilities, mini recital venues. And it's a 400-seat restored theater in one of those, it's kind of like one of those old Warner theaters, if you will. The acoustics are incredible. There's a lot of romance to it, a lot of vibe. It's an intimate way to take in the music. So whether you see the Resonance recital or Soundboard, which is for pianists exclusively, it's a piano festival. You don't have to be a pianist to come to it, but if you like the piano, you're going to love it. And you're going to see the piano in a lot of different ways. And then, of course, wah bass, which is all about that bass. And you'll see bass players that are like really focused into different elements of how they play the instrument, what they're playing on the instrument, why they're playing it. They'll even play sometimes with all of the bass players on stage at the same time. So if you like Primus, imagine it for acoustic bass, or the double bass.
I love Primus. Come on. Les Claypool is, I don't know if he's God, but he's pretty close to it. So, yeah.
Yeah. There's really something for everyone, but in a very sincere, authentic way. It's mainly acoustic instruments, but in Resonance, we have a group coming that does, they're a brass duet, and they also sing, and they also loop and do these really cool electronic things. So there's just a lot of diversity that you can sink your teeth into.
We'll have links to all of that at WRTV.com as to how you can go see those recitals, and also how you can support the Honeywell Arts Academy. If you are into philanthropy and you really like giving to the next generation and bringing that next level of music to the forefront, then Honeywell Arts Academy is for you. I would say. Well, I would say that. I especially think Renan would say that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, a little bit on that. Okay, so I think what's significant here is, first of all, if you're hearing that and you're thinking, "Oh, I can't," I don't have the means to support something like that in that way. You may know someone who does, or you may be able to just spread the word. So spreading the word is a huge resource for any nonprofit. So just remember that you may have more power than you think you have when it comes to supporting organizations of this world. But one of the reasons it's so important to support something in your own state, in my mind, and the great state of Indiana, is this is a full scholarship music program for emerging artists. So basically, it's the next ambassadors, great citizens of the music world, the people that will kind of lead the charge. Think about the people that you love to listen to, that you maybe also admire. Those are the people that you're supporting. And you're supporting them in a way where they're then going to come to Indiana. They're going to have this great experience. And then they're going to go out into the world and play all over the world and talk about this was one of the highlights of their young lives as they were just exploding onto the scene and doing what it is they love to do. I think that has a great deal of value, especially to Indiana, because I know how much pride there is in this wonderful state. I didn't really understand philanthropy and how the nonprofit world worked and why it was significant. Like, why is this museum here? Like, how does it actually get here? It gets here because of very generous people that make it a possibility, and we want it here because it's significant to making our community great. And I think that's a very special thing.
Renan Meyer is our guest here on WRTV. We're talking about his Honeywell Arts Academy in Wabash, Indiana. There are three different components now. Resonance, which is for the innovative musicians. That is June the 13th through the 17th. Soundboard for pianists is the 20th through the 24th. And then the Wabash Wabash Academy still happens. That's June 27th through July 1st. You have an event coming up associated with Indiana Landmarks that's also happening in June. June 18th is the date. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think one of the other things that's been so great about our new existence in Indiana and in Wabash, Indiana, is we have been met with open arms by mutual and parallel organizations in the state of Indiana. And Indiana Landmarks is the perfect example of that, because they caught wind that we were here and we're here to stay, and they just wanted to support us in every way that they could with their tentacles, their reach. And so they said, come on, bring your crew down. Let's do a performance at Indiana Landmarks, June 18th. We did one last year as well. It's open to the public. And if you can't make the trek to Wabash, and I encourage you to make that trek because it's so worth it. It's such a beautiful town, and it's such an extraordinary theater with Eagles Theater and Honeywell Arts Academy that it really is our home up there. But in addition to that, if it's more convenient for you, June 18th, we're bringing the Resonance recital down. So one of our three programs is going to come down and play for everyone, and I believe it's in Cook there at Indiana Landmarks.
If you're a young musician also, too late to get into this year's program, but maybe you look into this, and who knows, maybe next year, whenever, maybe that's going to be you on that stage, not just performing, but learning from the likes of Renan, your partners, Nick Kendall, Charles Yang, and all the other wonderful people you have up there.
Yeah, we actually had somebody come to Wabash for, I think it was close to a decade. He started coming when he was 12 with his parents, and then he ended up attending Wabash 3 different times, and also then grew into having a group that was eclectic called Westbound Situation, and then him and his band attended Resonance last year. So yeah, stranger things have happened, that's for sure. By the way, going back to Indiana Landmarks, last year when Resonance played there, there was this wonderful band who attended called Astral Mixtape, and they had a pianist in the group that also could play organ. And there's this amazing, if you haven't checked it out already, there's this extraordinary organ in Indiana Landmarks that's been installed. And they were playing an arrangement of Sibelius, and we whipped out the organ, which actually happens in the symphony, and played with the organ and 12 people up on stage. Everybody was running around the auditorium and creating like this, because it was very tornado-like, this moment in the piece. It was a sight, but it was also something that was really, really tasty to the ears.
That's yeah. Is there anything better than? I mean, I'm sure you could think of something musically, but I mean, the old organs in those theaters are just. I mean, there's nothing. I go to our oldest daughter is a freshman at DePaul University over in Greencastle. Sorry, Wabash, that's your rival, but we'll get past that for this purpose. But yeah, they
Play
have
sax, right?
no, she plays trombone
Oh,
actually.
she's the trombonist. She's the
It's
trombonist.
Trombonist,
Yes.
yes. And it's just, fabulous to think of, where those organs have been and where they've come from. And particularly a place like Eagles, which, the history that's already there. And now you're not only, you're involving that organ, but you're bringing that whole theater to life. You're bringing the community to life with something like this.
I mean, that's what it's about. Like when you can take something that's already there, that's already so special. I mean, of course, we play the piano there too, that I believe was donated by Marianne Tobias. It's a gorgeous piano. But then to add the organ as well, oh, it's powerful because I mean these big instruments they become fixtures, of their environment.
We could go on like this for quite some time, but we'll wrap this up with the website honeywellartsacademy.org. You can find out all about it there. Renan, love the work you're doing. You're always welcome back here at WRTV, and really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. The pleasure. I really, really, really am grateful to have an opportunity to talk about Honeywell Arts Academy with you. And thank you for having me on.